Hi, my name's Charles and I'm one of the maths teachers from the Maxim workshop. I'm just going to now teach you how to do some maths. Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to teach algebra. Now, the basis of algebra is association and then assigning. So the first thing we want to do is associate particular objects that have similarities, and then we'll look at the convenience of assigning values to them or variables. So just imagine if in a particular school we found that we had 5 people with the name John Smith. And we also found that we had 9 people with the name Tim Matthews. And then we found that we had 4 people with the name Sam Peters. Now, this has already shown us that we've associated particular individuals by similarities that they share within their names. Now, the next thing would be to assign a particular thing that allows us to shorten these similarities so it's easier for us to relate to them time and time again. Now, a classic example of when you would do that is just when you would say, call your friend by a shortening name that he has. So to just give him a nickname, pretty much. So that's pretty much what we're gonna do with these names, just shorten them. And the easiest thing to do when doing that is just shorten them to their initials. So we've got JS, we've got TM, and we've got SM. Now, the convenience that we have now, when we want to relate to John Smith, we can just say JS. Okay, so I'll just rub this out and bring them together. JS. And when we want to relate to Tim Matthews, we can just call him by TM. And when we want to relate to Sam Peters, or all the Sam Peters, we say SP. Now, this is, first of all, we've shown how to associate and now assign particular shortened versions of their names to these symbols here. It's the same principle in algebra. What we want to do is get a particular thing that varies. So obviously with the names here, the individuals that had that name are the variables. How many of them is the measurement that we would take. So if you looked at rainfall over the course of months, you might just call rainfall RF, okay? And this becomes a lot more easier to use in maths. You don't want to always be writing at 2 times rainfall all the time. And just imagine in one of those papers where you have, you see a certain question being answered, and you see a whole sheet being used to derive a possible answer. You don't want to have to see this all the time. So we make the shorten of this and it becomes 2 times RF. Now, the one that you're going to be commonly using most of the time is X, okay? So X is a good term for the unknown. So when you want to relate to, say, the individual people's heights within your class, you might say height is equal to X. Weight, which is another variable, might be equaled to W. And if you're studying something like, say, physics or chemistry, and even say biology, when you want to know the time that it takes for a chemical reaction to take place, or the time that it takes for an athlete to run a certain distance, you might use the idea of small t for time. Obviously, these would have units of meters or centimeters, and this would have units of seconds. And that's basically how to teach algebra.